Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news in the world of NFL rumors and trade whispers. One name is quickly rising to the top of the charts, Derrick Henry. That's right, the reigning NFL powerhouse could soon be donning the navy and orange of the Chicago Bears. Now I know what you're thinking, really? Derrick Henry to the Bears? But hear me out, because this isn't just idle chatter. There's real buzz and some serious speculation brewing among NFL insiders that a trade might be on the horizon, and it could be a game-changer for Chicago. Rumors suggest that the Baltimore Ravens, who are currently sitting at 10-5 and fighting for playoff positioning, might be considering moving Henry in exchange for a couple of mid-round draft picks, a second and a third rounder. The Ravens, despite a solid season, are facing some issues on their offensive line, especially with injuries and sacks, and the addition of Henry could provide that explosive, game-changing back they need to push for a deep playoff run. Now, why would the Ravens trade such a talented player? Well, there's a mix of factors. For starters, Baltimore has a capable run game, but injuries on the line, coupled with some inconsistent blocking, have limited their ground attack. Their offensive line has suffered from injuries, with 17 sacks allowed and some key players missing time, which has hampered their ability to run the ball effectively. They're also looking at the cap situation, with around $24 million dedicated to their secondary, so flexing some cap space with a trade could make sense. But the real story here is how Henry could fit into the Bears' offense and what it could do to their overall performance. On the other side of this equation, the Bears are quietly building something special. With an 11-4 record, they're already one of the most explosive teams in the league, and adding Derrick Henry could elevate them into an entirely new stratosphere. Their backfield has been a patchwork, especially with David Montgomery's departure and the injury to Roscoe Johnson, who's currently sidelined with a thumb injury that's expected to keep him out for about 7 weeks. Johnson was a key piece for Chicago, giving them that burst of speed and power, but with him on IR, the Bears need someone who can step in and immediately make an impact. Henry, with his bruising running style and ability to break tackles, fits that mold perfectly. In 2025, Henry has been a force to be reckoned with. He's accumulated 290 carries for 480 yards and 15 touchdowns, averaging 5.1 yards per carry and 4.6 yards after contact per PFF. His broken tackles number an incredible 48, showcasing his power and ability to stay on his feet through contact. His career stats are equally impressive, over 0 rushing yards and 110 rushing touchdowns, making him one of the most dominant backs of his generation. Despite some injury concerns, including a knee injury in Week 12 of 2025 that caused him to miss a game, Henry remains a game-changer when healthy. Now, in terms of what this could mean for the Bears, the potential addition of Derrick Henry could be transformative. Chicago has been trending upward, especially with their current offensive setup, which features the tandem of Justin Fields and a revitalized passing game. But adding a back like Henry would give them a true thunder to their lightning, creating a more balanced attack. It would also take pressure off Fields, allowing him to play more freely without constantly carrying the load on the ground. Plus, Henry's explosiveness, he averages +1. 4 yards per contact and has over 20% of his runs classified as explosive, would give the Bears that extra punch needed to convert short yardage and extend drives. This move could also help the Bears' overall offensive efficiency. Their offensive line has shown signs of improvement, but they still have work to do, especially in pass protection. Henry's ability to pick up yards after contact and break tackles would complement the offensive line's efforts by forcing defenses to respect the run even more. That in turn would open up more opportunities for Justin Fields to throw downfield or scramble out of the pocket. It's a classic case of a team adding the missing piece to become a true contender, and Henry's addition could elevate their offensive production by an estimated 200 yards per season, according to some projections, and push their average rushing yards per game from around 110 to closer to 140. But it's not just about the offense. A player like Henry can bring a mental edge to the team as well. His physical presence and playoff experience, he scored 5 touchdowns in postseason games after 2023, can be a huge psychological boost for a team that's been on the rise but still needs that extra push to get over the hump in January. His ability to perform in cold weather, especially in Chicago's brutal winter games, adds another layer of appeal for the Bears. And considering his career trajectory and recent performances, he's still entering his prime, with plenty of gas left in the tank. On the defensive side, the Bears could see some subtle benefits too. While a running back's performance doesn't directly impact the defense, a more balanced, potent offense keeps their defense rested and less pressured to keep the team in games. Plus, with the added threat of Henry in the backfield, opposing defenses might be forced to dedicate more resources to stopping the run, which could open up opportunities for the Bears, defensive line, and linebackers to capitalize on turnovers or sacks. Now, looking at the bigger picture, the trade rumors are gaining traction as the NFL trade deadline approaches, with April 4th being the critical date when teams must finalize deals. The Bears, with their recent success and clear strategic direction, seem like a prime candidate to make a splash if the right deal comes along. The idea of pairing Derrick Henry with Justin Fields, especially in a run-heavy attack, has fans dreaming of playoff runs and even Super Bowl aspirations. The odds for the Bears winning Super Bowl LXI have already improved from +600 to +400, and adding a player like Henry could push those odds even further, making them a legitimate dark horse contender. Of course, such a trade wouldn't come without questions. The Ravens are likely wary of losing a player of Henry's caliber, especially if they're fighting for a playoff spot and need their ground game to stay competitive. But with the NFL being the business it is, pushing for a deal that benefits both sides makes sense, especially if Baltimore can secure some valuable draft picks to rebuild or add depth elsewhere. For the Bears, the opportunity to acquire Henry and immediately boost their offense is a no-brainer. It's a move that could redefine their trajectory, making them not just playoff contenders but serious threats once the postseason arrives. And let's not forget the impact on the division. If the Bears manage to land Henry and incorporate him into their offense seamlessly, the NFC North's balance of power shifts significantly. The Vikings, Packers, and Lions will all have to contend with a Bears team that's not just explosive in the passing game, but also has a dominant running back capable of taking over games. It's a recipe for chaos in the division, and that's exactly what Bears fans want to see, their team rising to the top, ready to challenge for that elusive Super Bowl title. As we watch the NFL landscape evolve over the coming weeks, one thing is clear. Big moves are on the horizon, and the Chicago Bears are positioning themselves to be major players. Whether it's a trade for Derrick Henry or other strategic adjustments, the team's front office is clearly thinking big. The offseason is approaching, but it's deals like these that could set the tone for the 2024 season and beyond. For now, all eyes are on the trade rumors, the NFL draft, and the incredible potential of a Bears team that's just getting started. The excitement is palpable and fans are buzzing, because if this move happens, it's going to be a game changer. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Bears' coaching staff and management are clearly weighing their options, and the possibility of adding Derrick Henry is one that's gaining serious momentum. It's not just about boosting their offense. It's about making a statement. Chicago is here to contend, and they're willing to make bold moves to secure their spot among NFL's elite. Fans are already dreaming of what a backfield with Justin Fields and Derrick Henry could look like, with explosive runs, long touchdowns, and a relentless ground game that keeps defenses guessing. The kind of chemistry and power that can turn a good team into a real Super Bowl contender. And if history has shown us anything, it's that in the NFL, the teams that swing big at the right moment often end up hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. Now, of course, there are hurdles. The Ravens are not going to part ways easily with Henry, especially if their playoff hopes hinge on their running game. But with the trade deadline approaching and both teams seeing the potential benefits, don't be surprised if some deal gets inked in the coming weeks. The Bears are in a prime position to pounce, with the roster already showing they can compete at a high level, and now adding a player like Derrick Henry could be the final piece needed to elevate them from playoff hopefuls to serious Super Bowl contenders. And so, as fans, we wait and watch, hoping that this rumor turns into reality. Because when you see a player of Henry's caliber linked to your favorite team, it ignites a fire in the fan base. It's a sign that the Bears aren't content with just being good, they want to be great. And with a roster that's already showing promise, a trade for Henry could be the spark that ignites their championship pursuit. The NFL is a league of moves, and the coming weeks will tell us whether Chicago will make the bold decision to bring in one of the league's most explosive running backs and reshape the landscape of the NFC North once and for all. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Derrick Henry is the missing piece for a Super Bowl push? Would you be thrilled to see him in navy and orange, breaking tackles and setting the tone for this team's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like these potentially on the horizon, the future looks bright for the Bears nation. Let's ride this wave and see where it takes us. Bear down.